Sweat.
Dr. Jackson gave me the news of a planet far away. And Colonel O'Neill will assemble a team that will try to save the day. Dr. Sam has a master plan and a science attitude. And the job for Teal, he's part of the deal with his trusty Go-Out. It's just a regular day at Stargate Command, and it might be hard to understand.
Hello,
Welcome
everyone.
back.
Hello.
Hello.
I think before the music hit, I was like, oh, I'm sweating. So
You did. You did. It was the sweat, and then it started because I clicked the button already.
Oh man.
After many technical difficulties, welcome back, everyone, to Three Fries Short. I'm your co-fry, Sarah.
I am your co-fry, Christina.
I'm your co-fry, Rebecca. Oh my gosh, everybody out there in live land, thank you for just imagine you're at like a rock concert and we're starting just like that fashionably late. Just imagine that maybe that'll feel a little better.
Yeah.
Louis from tech support was no help whatsoever, but
Boo,
an attempt
Louis.
was made.
Boo.
Boo. Boo.
Boo, Louis.
Oh man, that was fun. But you know what? There was multiple things going on. We realized I also have super hearing now, thanks to Rebecca's mic. So it's been good. It's been good.
And welcome to my living room, everyone.
Well, welcome to underneath
Sarah's
the bunk
scenic
bed.
living room.
I mean, I'm underneath my daughter's bunk bed. That's actually
you
in
are.
my room because she has different stuff in her room now, but I liked the desk. So welcome to this cozy place.
Nice.
That's what it is.
I'm in the same place that
Yeah.
I always am.
Yeah. I got booted out. They're playing Fortnite out there, so I got booted.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, there is.
Understandable.
It's important.
Very
stuff.
important. Oh, yes. Yes. All right.
All right. Frybox. We got some stuff to discuss. Companion stuff.
Have we talked about Chris Judge?
Maybe a little.
I don't remember. So we can go back.
I think
to
our
it.
last episode was recorded before I went. Is that
New York?
correct?
I believe so.
Before I went to
no.
LA.
Oh, yes, before you went to LA.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. What?
So it's been a minute, but that's okay. So I flew out to LA and you only mentioned about the meetup. Thanks, Charlie.
Don't you want to do our little intro?
Yeah, hold on. I have a thing
We're
for that.
out of sorts. about this.
Listen, it took us all the brain power just to get this going. So
Short, cause we're Three Fries Short.
okay, we're in the fry box now.
Yay.
Yeah.
So I got to fly out to LA for the Companion to produce and direct an in-person roundtable with Chris Judge and other Black sci-fi creators, actors, etc., cosplayer.
So cool.
And it's coming out in less than a week on the 10th on the Companion, so everybody can watch it. But it was so amazing just to be able to have it in person instead of a Zoom interview. The energy there because of that was just like incredible. We had like a 3-camera setup. It was very fancy.
It was insane. The pictures you sent us just as like little sneaks was so awesome. There's like this picture of, I think it was MJ and Christopher Judge, like on the couch, just like, it just looked like there was a lot of great conversations and just bonding that went on. And I'm really stoked to just sit back and watch that and learn and observe. It's going to be really cool.
I think, yeah, it's very different from anything the companion has put out yet. And it's going to be potentially difficult subject matter for people because it's very serious and very real. They do end it on an up note though. So like
Good.
get through the rough stuff and then they ended on the joy, which is very nice.
Good.
But I've just had a blast. Like I cut a trailer for it. I cut the opening sequence today for it. And everything just looks so good and it sounds so good. So it's just very exciting to have been able to do that in person. Not only just because I got to meet Chris Judge in person, which was amazing as well, but he was a super cool dude. So yeah. I'm excited for everybody to see it.
What a great, just like take a moment. I thought about this, like just a pause, like think about when we first started out on this quest, not that the podcast has anything to do with that or that has anything to do with this, but just the like omni experience of like our worlds and how they've like shifted and collided. Like you just went from like, we all met on TikTok. We're going to kind of get in this Discord. Then we're like, okay, we're getting on this podcast. And they're like, hey, there's this like thing, the companion, like you guys should like check it out. And then all of a sudden now you work there and like you get to do this cool stuff and you got to meet Christopher Judge. Like it's been a wild, cool ride to just like, I don't know, be like in tandem on a weird like side boat, like watching it happen, but just it's really cool. Like it's really cool.
Listen, everything that I'm doing now is 100% because of our podcast. Like 100% because of our podcast. So like, it's been amazing. And I'm super appreciative of everything that has happened as a result of us just going, hey, we don't even care if anybody listens. We're just going to get together and talk about Stargate. And then it's like, look at what happened because of that. That's crazy. So
like, there's been some incredible friendships, like just the community in general and just the way that like barriers have come down. Not that they were ever actually there, but just the fact that the seat at the table, the having the conversations, the like getting to be connected to it, realizing the fandom is alive and well, realizing there's still like a job to be had in supporting like part of the fandom. Like that's pretty amazing thing to think about. So anyway,
no, it's great. It's been crazy. I'm actually leaving tomorrow to go finally meet those companion kids in real life. So
yeah, I forget you've never met Lawrence. You've never met.
I have never met Lawrence. Yeah,
I forget because like I met Lawrence because Lawrence came here for funding and like we got to meet up and hang out. Like I forget y'all haven't met Lawrence in person.
Nope.
Oh, you're gonna have so much fun.
He did just send a Discord meeting to us though, or message to us though, saying this is the eve of our having him on Three Fries Short at the year anniversary. So a year ago tomorrow, we had him on Three Fries Short, and I wrote back and I said that makes it very appropriate then that's when I'm flying out to finally meet you. So,
oh my gosh,
I still think about one of the discussions that we had, and it truly like has colored the way that I look at things. Like ever since when he was talking about, like since he's like Asian. I'm sorry if like that's too broad of a term, but like when he sees like other like Crazy Rich Asians or the Marvel movie
Shang-Chi?
Yeah. Like how it's almost like you want it to do good just because there's that representation. And like I think of that a lot. I still think about that and how I look at media now when it comes out of like, wow, I wonder like this could mean so much to a specific audience or a specific group of people because it has that representation and like they're just praying and begging like, yes, I hope this does good because then maybe I'll see more of it.
Yeah,
I still think about that.
That's a good point. That was a great episode. If people haven't seen that interview, it's available on YouTube, so you should check it out. I think so. I think it is. If it isn't, I'll make sure it is. But
yeah, make sure it is. We should get Lawrence back on at some point soon.
Or is it that I've just been slowly? I know Colin Cunningham's is on. I know
Corin Nemec is on.
Sue Ann Brown's on. So I'll check and see if Lawrence isn't. I'll get it up there.
Yeah,
So
it's a
everybody
great
can.
one.
Yep.
Wonderful person. All right. That's some good fry box.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. All right. We ready to jump into it?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Get out of the fry box into the episode.
I'm happy with this episode as opposed to
I am
last week's
too.
episode.
I am too. I have a lot of feelings about this episode.
Oh yeah.
So before we start, I don't know if this is going to be a new segment, but maybe. In our group chat, I sent you guys a cryptic image,
Mhm.
and Rebecca is going to show this cryptic image on the screen.
It's literally gonna go like on my face, and it'll probably still show you guys. You ready?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so I
Oh, God.
promised that this has something to do with the episode that we're going to talk about.
It
And
is
you're
a
just gonna-
Capri Sun.
Yes,
Couch, 'cause
Capri
people
Sun,
need to
Pacific
know.
Cooler to be specific. Adam, don't spoil it in the comments because I think I told you about this, so don't spoil it. It's going to be a surprise. What's happening? Holding it up.
I'm just pretending to be holding this Capri Sun. Like,
So, you're just gonna have to stick around and find out like what this is, and if this is a hit, then maybe I'll have to
Oh, God, I
to
love
figure out
this.
a cryptic image for every episode and see if you guys can guess. Do you guys have a guess of like what this could mean?
Capri Sun cooler. Pacific cooler. No, because I didn't rewatch the episode intentionally already because I knew this is such a you and Rebecca like ship episode, and I just wanted to like be a fly on the wall for like the energy and not detract from it. But now I have no clue.
Okay. Well, when I make the reveal, I'm gonna send Rebecca another image.
Wait,
For
so
her
Rebecca knows?
No.
Oh,
I didn't
that's
send it
why-
to her yet.
that's why I don't have that other image yet, because like I'm not supposed to know.
So
For anyone out there in audio land, it is a picture of a Capri Sun pouch. It says Capri Sun, all natural ingredients, Pacific Cooler, mixed fruit flavored juice drink blend
it's a
from
Capri Sun.
concentrate.
It's a Capri Sun.
Oh,
So
the
Does the
Pacific
flavor
Cooler-
mean something?
maybe. You'll have to see. It's okay, cryptic for a reason. I'm not explaining anymore. We're just gonna have to get to it.
Okay. All right. Can I take the Capri Sun down now?
You can.
Hi.
Okay. So with that being said, we're talking about season 3, episode 6, which is Point of View. This is a near and dear episode to my heart, but I have really complex feelings about it. It's
Mhm.
kind of awkward.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit.
So before like we really get into it, it aired July 30th, 1999. Jay Acavone, which I believe is how he pronounces that name, reprises his role as an alternate Major Kowalski. And this is the second episode to feature the Sam and Jack love theme. First
Dun,
being when
dun.
Daniel went through the mirror for the first time in there, but for the grace of God.
You mean the music?
Also,
like-
I don't know if it meant the music. I did notice that- It's right my heart out. I did notice that I feel like that's the first time we've heard the music. I don't remember that in there, but for the grace of God. And if anyone in the comments knows for sure, feel free to correct us. But I know like the music was a big. They really leaned into that, and I'm glad that it's good music because some of those don't hit. Like that child theme that they play when there's kids involved.
No.
That ain't it, man.
No.
So, without further ado, this episode opens in what we presume to be Area 51. It's a storage room for alien devices, one of which, if you guys didn't catch, is the virtual reality pod from the Gamekeeper.
Mhm.
That's one of them. So we kind of already know. It reminds me, it's very like Indiana Jones-esque of like where the Ark of the Covenant is kept.
Right.
So we see the mirror that Daniel found on P3X233 that took him to the alternate reality, and it activates, and we see a long-haired Samantha Carter accompanied by a Major Kowalski. They appear to be under attack and hurriedly use the mirror to escape to our reality. The alarm goes off. They're surrounded by a bunch of soldiers, which is like, damn, how many soldiers they got on standby there? it was like an instant, and they were
Mhm.
just swarmed. And she introduces herself as Dr. Samantha Carter, and she says she needs to speak to their commander. Let's just get this out of the way. I know we've talked about it many, many times, but that wig is a crime.
Is it an extension or wigs? Or
That's a wig.
I
That
think
looks like a
it's-
wig.
It's
it's
nasty.
like using her bangs, like her actual bangs, like because her bang length is her correct length for the rest, like for her hair, but like the rest of it is long.
I don't
and
even.
very fake looking.
I wouldn't even buy that. Those are her bangs. To me, it looked like all one big toupee. like, on her
I think
head.
it was her bangs, but I think the rest of it is very fake.
To be fair, this is better than There But for the Grace of God, because it looks like they just put in some clip-in extensions, and
Right.
that looked terrible.
For
Like
sure.
there were short pieces. They tried to kind of cover it up with like a half clip updo thing.
They're
Did
like,
not
it's the
work.
mid-90s. Everybody's doing the Rachel. It's fine.
It was not
Hair.
fine.
No,
No.
it was
Spoiler
not
alert.
fine.
It was not fine.
No, it's
Um,
not fine.
So this is like a slight improvement. But then in the future, season 8, when there's another like scene where she has long hair, it goes so much worse. Like I thought it was, again, spoiler alert for a 25-year-old show. Season 8, it's season 8 when like Fifth has her in some like
Oh, that like farm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
In the
Yeah.
like in the
Oh.
dream world. Yeah.
I
Oh, no.
posted it on TikTok and someone was like, "What the fuck is that Joe Dirt wig?"
It's
I'm
so
like,
bad.
It's so bad.
It's like a
So-
razor cut mullet, but
Mhm.
with yeah.
It's
Oh.
bad.
Okay, so Sam's hair, it's bad.
It's
But-
out of the way. I just wanted
Out of
to
the way.
address that elephant in the room. So
No,
opening
it's
credits.
addressed. Yes.
So we see alternate Sam in the infirmary. Jack walks in and he's immediately confused and kind of like amused. He's like, "What happened to you?" Because obviously she looks completely, she's like long hair, which she's never had at all.
Mhm.
And alternate Sam, which is what we will refer to her as from now on, alternate Sam or alt Sam.
Alt Sam.
In the transcripts, it's Carter, which is our Sam, and then Samantha, which is alternate Sam.
Her name is longer, like her hair.
I'm gonna need to see some cosplays, Rebecca. You gotta go to like
God.
the
have
party
a- okay.
store.
Okay, I have a wig. I have not used
Please.
it yet.
Please use it.
But especially until I get like my whole blonde redone, maybe I should just throw the wig on.
Make it look
Yes.
intentionally bad. Don't try to make it look good. Really play into
It
that.
can't look good. It's a $20 wig, so there's
It'll
no
be
way it can
terrible.
look good. Yeah. Don't worry.
All right.
So she's shocked to see him and she calls him Jack, which throws him for a loop. And she says that she didn't expect him to be alive. Now I have a chunk of dialogue. We got Kowalski, O'Neill, Hammond, Fraser, Samantha. Jesus Christ.
Ooh, okay. So we gotta all double up, right?
I'll do O'Neill and Kowalski.
I guess I'll be Samantha.
Wait, so that leaves me Hammond and
Fraser.
Fraser. Okay.
Sure, let's go with it. So
Okay.
Kowalski says, "Don't feel bad, Colonel. Everyone around here is telling me the same thing." And then Jack is like, "Kowalski?"
In a matter, oh my god, that was not the right.
When the accent goes bad.
Hold on. In a manner of speaking. Actually, in a fact, sir, this is Major Charles Kowalski in almost every physical respect. His blood work, his dental records. Kowalski.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Except I'm not supposed to be alive in this reality any more than you are in mine. Sorry, Sam.
It's not the same with us here, is it?
And then Jack says, "Does anyone want to tell me what the hell is going on here? This poor guy. He just walks into this and no one, like, just blindsided."
Yeah, he's like he just came to work
Yeah.
that day and then This
Like,
mess
no
is
prep.
happening.
No prep.
Well, and I think they called him in because he was like, "What's the emergency?" And then like that's when he saw the wig.
Mm-hmm.
We have a wig emergency.
As I said, like cutting off our last episode, I ended it. Jay Acavone is the guest star, but the unspoken guest star is that wig.
Oh yeah.
She deserves
She's the
some
main
place
star.
credit.
She's the main thing.
So Hammond explains that they came through the quantum mirror and that at the Nellis high security lockup. I don't know why it said Nelly, but it's Nellis.
the Nelly High lockup.
Yep. And Jack is like, is that alternate reality thing that Daniel fussed with on 233? And then Kowalski is like, who's Daniel? So difference number one. Alt Sam explains that they can't be followed and they brought the remote with them. Kowalski then reveals that their reality has just been invaded by the Gould. Dun, dun, dun. Cut to the briefing room. Hammond and SG-1 are watching interrogation footage of Alt Sam. She's trying to explain everything and get in contact with someone from the Stargate project. She refers to it as the SGA, which I think that's what it was in there, but for the grace of God.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of already know, like, there are some differences.
Mm-hmm.
She was very animated and Daniel-esque. So, like, when Daniel was in the alternate reality, he was, like, wigging out and, like, doing the most. She is now in that situation, and she's, like, freaking out, doing the most. So we have some footage. Okay, I wanted to include this specific paragraph. Rebecca, would you like to read that?
Sure. There are two things in here that are worth of note to me. So the first one is probably obvious. The second one maybe isn't. For crying out loud, it's a big round thing. It takes you to other planets. I made it work 4 years ago, and we've been exploring the galaxy ever since. That is, up until yesterday when the Gould came and started taking over every major city from orbit and making slaves of the population.
So obvious to me is that she says "for crying out loud," which is Jack's like catchphrase. And he was like quirked an eyebrow at that.
Yeah,
Like,
he makes like a
girl. So what was the other thing you noticed?
So Sam Carter always says "go old." Samantha said "Gould," and it like caught me off guard.
Interesting.
Because like I try to track how everybody says it. Like Daniel always says Gould. O'Neill always says Gould. Obviously, Teal'c always says "go old." Most people say Gould, but Sam has said "go old." But Samantha said Gould.
I did not catch that.
Good catch.
I thought you were going to point out the time frame because she said 4 years ago. So I didn't know if that lined up with our time frame of when our Stargate program started to work.
I think it roughly. I think it does. It's just she figured it out because Daniel's obviously nowhere around.
He's dead somewhere. He's gone.
Exactly. So
just so you know, Charlie says, I think I know what the Pacific Cooler reference refers to. I'll wait.
Yes, please.
Oh.
I want to know
Cooler.
when we reveal it, I would like to know what you thought, but don't spoil it. Sit on that, please.
Sit on it.
So plot dump 1.
Okay, who's being who? I'm Hammond.
I'll be O'Neill.
And I'll be
Teal'c.
Daniel.
I guess I'll be Carter and Samantha.
Yes. Okay.
We might have to split
They're
that
both.
up in some. Yeah. So, okay. Take it away.
Ready? Oh my God, this is too weird.
Yeah, how about that hair?
She claims to have traveled from an alternate universe in the same manner Dr. Jackson experienced a year ago. And Daniel says, well, this can't be the Dr. Carter I met in the alternate reality. She's dead.
All right, just to clarify, the Carter is from an alternate reality.
Apparently.
Does anyone else have a problem with that? And then Teal'c says, which reality is actually real? And then Jack says, thank you, Teal'c.
She explains it.
And
Puts
then
the tape back
Samantha
on.
from the television. Look, I know this is hard for you to understand, but according to quantum theory, for every possible universe, there are infinite number of variations, diverging in every choice we make, like forks in the road. Some interviewers like, and then Carter says, she's right.
You just agreed with yourself.
No, actually, Major Carter just agreed with Dr. Carter. She never joined the military in her reality,
Fork in the road stuff.
apparently.
All right. So it's possible there's an alternate version of myself that actually understands what the hell you're talking about.
They've asked to be debriefed. I'd like you all to participate.
So it kind of clarifies this alternate reality stuff because up until this point we've only seen one.
Mhm.
So for our like viewing, obviously we know what happens because this is not our first rodeo. But like
No.
if we were watching this for the first time, it kind of expands on that world building of like it's not just one alternate reality. There's endless alternate realities, and this is just one drop in the bucket. So, alternate Sam and Kowalski enter the briefing room. Kowalski freaks out when he sees Teal'c, but they explain that he's on their side. And Kowalski also is like, "Who the hell are you?" Like, bitch to Daniel, because Daniel's trying to like, he's fine, he's with us, and Kowalski's like, "Fuck you, bro. Who are you? Like, I'll fight you." So, when I was watching this earlier with Adam, he posed a question like, why are they acting this way? If they know that alternate realities are different, why are they acting so upset or surprised when they see differences? They should expect them. And this is how I would justify it or explain it because you can fundamentally know that there are differences in realities and
Mhm.
expect the changes. But then to actually experience those changes in person is different. And it's confusing and a lot of it in this case could be a trauma response of like
Yeah.
they just saw Teal'c bust through the door and shoot them and shoot people
Mhm.
and kill people. And
Mhm.
now like so it's one thing to understand it in theory and in practice, but then it's another thing to experience it in person
Mhm.
and live that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I
Um,
think you're still going to have that initial knee-jerk reaction, but then be able to like talk yourself through it. But you can't help your reactions, like your automated
yeah.
things.
And we know in their reality Jack is dead. So how
Mhm.
traumatic would it be for you to see somebody that you know, regardless of the relationship at this point, somebody that you know
Mhm.
shot and killed, and then they're alive and it's like almost as if they're alive and well. It's gonna
Mhm.
fuck with you.
Mhm.
Even though you know in your heart, like, or your head rather, I know that this could have been a possibility,
Mm.
but now I'm actually having to live that and deal with that.
Yeah.
That's hard.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So now we have plot dump 2 because Kowalski and alternate Sam are now in the briefing room. I think we need to split up the Sams.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
Unless
be Carter
okay.
because I have short hair.
What else we got? Samantha
And Hammond. So I'll stay
Car-
Hammond.
Okay, and I'll do alternate
You need to be
Sam.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's like a random, yeah. There's a
I'll-
couple of random lines, but it's fine.
Yeah,
We'll
I'll
just
do
pick them up. Okay.
Yep.
So Alt Sam says, nice hair.
Air Force.
I can't imagine going into the military.
Wow. I can't imagine not.
First of all, I would like to say we know what you've been through. Dr. Jackson experienced a similar alternate reality some time ago on a mission to P3X233.
Well, that's where we found our quantum mirror as well.
Fortunately for us, Dr. Jackson was able to return with intelligence that enabled SG-1 to stop the Gould attack here on Earth.
Nice. That goes a long way to explain why yours was one of the only handful of alternate realities that looked like it hadn't been overrun by the Gould.
Actually, it's probably the very differences that set our universe apart from yours that have contributed to our survival. Daniel's participation in the Stargate program, Teal'c's change of heart, the fact that I joined the military.
What? You think you being in the Air Force could have made that big a difference?
No, I just said it made a contribution.
And therefore I didn't. And then Jack says, ladies, Sams, we're all in this reality together.
What we need to know is where you intend to go from here.
Our beta site was instructed to bury their Stargate the moment the last man stepped through, and our own world is under Gould control, so we can't go back.
Kowalski says we want to stay.
That is, if we're wanted. Look, we just left everyone we know, everyone we ever cared about. If you're not going to give us a second chance, I don't know any of you. And then Jack says, well, exactly. You don't know any of us, and we don't know who you are. For all we know, you could be her evil twin, but then we'd be dealing with cliches, and you know how I feel about those. No, actually, he looks at Carter. He's like, actually, you know how I feel about those.
Okay, I'll speak with my superiors and make a determination. For now, you'll be assigned temporary accommodation and says take them to A3 quarters.
So
Hmm.
things that stuck out. So the thing that stuck out to me the most was when the two Sams were talking to each other. Our Sam, Carter, pointed out, well, maybe, she's pointing out the differences. Daniel's in the program, Teal switched sides, I joined the military. And that like pisses alternate Sam all the way off.
Mhm.
Because she's basically like saying like what? Because I didn't join the military, that's why my world is in shambles right now. So it's hard. It's a hard pill for her to swallow of like looking at the choices they made might affect how things turned out, but it really did. There were clear differences and clearly different choices that were made. But it's not just one singular thing. It's like an amalgamation of everything together that made the
Mhm.
difference. And they're asking for asylum, which is an interesting scenario. Sam catches up to alternate Sam in the corridor and she apologizes for offending her, but alternate Sam admits like she's feeling inadequate. They knew about the Gould attack for 6 months and she couldn't figure out how to stop it. But our Sam in our reality did figure it out, which it's like 6 months, girl, like you really dropped the ball. Like,
Yeah, but they didn't have any of that common space person knowledge because they didn't have Teal'c. Like,
that's true.
it's just there's plenty of like all of it.
You're right.
contributes,
I'm being
so,
harsh.
Yeah.
So, alternate Sam goes to bed. She sits down and she takes out a
Here we
picture
go.
from her pocket and she sets it on the nightstand. It's a wedding photo of her and O'Neill. Cue the sad music. They were married.
That's my mom and dad's wedding photo, by the way, according to TikTok. So just want everyone to know.
Right.
Rebecca,
Great.
I love that you were able to like actually convince people that
Oh, people are dead serious. They still
Yeah.
think that. Like people have missed that it's a joke.
That's
People
so funny.
are idiots, but that's fine.
Or they
It's
think that you're not joking. Like they don't get that like
They think that I'm trying to like dupe people.
yeah.
And like they're like, you're rude. This is not funny. I believed you for a moment, but you're not
And
it.
now I'm angry because
I'm
it's
mad.
not true.
And I'm like, so sad, so sorry. Anyway.
Given it one little goog would have
Correct.
solved all of that. But
Oh yeah.
You know what I think about though? Like they had to actually take that picture. Like they had
Yeah,
to
they
get
did.
dressed up.
Yep.
They had to do a photo shoot.
Oh my god.
I wonder, like, as a prank, like what would happen if I printed that out and framed it and like put it on my desk at work and be like, oh, these are my relatives. Like, would people believe it? That would
Yeah.
be like a really funny
It would be a really
like,
good test.
bit. Like
It'd
a
be
bit.
a really good test. Like if anybody actually caught it, you'd be like, you're in. Like you can join
You're
the club.
cool. You're cool.
You can join the club.
Here's a business card with our podcast QR.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
So, cut to Hammond's office. He just received approval for alternate Sam and Kowalski to stay, but it just doesn't feel right to him. And I thought this was super interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So let's read this because it asks a very existential question.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'll stay Hammond. So
okay, I'll just do Jack real quick. So he says, well, the combined IQ of Earth might go up a few points having two Carters around. I take it you figure there's a downside?
it just doesn't sit right. Some lines aren't meant to be crossed. Nonetheless, I've been encouraged to find a way to incorporate them into this command.
So it's something just feels icky to Hammond, and it's I don't know if it's like because for example, like Kowalski is dead in their world, and it feels wrong to let someone who's not really their Kowalski hiccup to like come and like fill that role. Or maybe he just thinks like this feels unnatural to me, like a clone almost. Like it just feels icky. And I think it's more of like it just feels unnatural versus like this is not ethical. Obviously, like ethically speaking, they're helping them. But other than that, like that's how I read that. Do you guys think or like what would you pull from that? Where he's
Maybe
just like,
maybe it's just the beginnings of that entropic cascade failure.
Mm-hmm.
There's just something that like you're like the different realities vibrate differently or something. So like it doesn't feel right to like to be interacting with somebody from a different reality.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just weird, icky, weird, feels wrong.
Yeah.
So,
I guess. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say my take on it from what I remember was that it wasn't it doesn't feel right from like an emotional, moral, like one's dead, one's alive thing, but more of the like, I think having particles from another reality in this reality is weird and not like, I think it, like I caught that vibe from it more of the like, I just don't think we go there because then we open up Pandora's box of other things. We start down that path, and this is one maybe we just don't cross.
Yeah, because
how I
then when you
took it.
think about it, where do they draw the line?
Mm-hmm.
What happens if more people come through?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have like literally almost as Janet said, like he is in all regards and aspects down to like the DNA level. That is Kowalski.
Mm-hmm.
So then like what do you do when you have multiple of the exact same person?
Yeah. Anyway, that's my take.
So Jack volunteers to go tell them that they're allowed to stay, and he goes to tell alternate Sam. She's upset. She's clearly been crying. He tells her that she's allowed to stay, but she's relieved, but she's still like clearly not okay.
Mm-hmm.
Would you guys like to read this?
Sure, it's epic.
Oh, I
It
get to
is.
be yeah.
You ready?
Yeah, yeah.
I just never expected this. It's so hard.
Look, I can't even begin to know what you've been through. I know you've lost a lot.
I lost you. I watched you die, Jack, 3 days ago trying to defend the mountain. And here you are, alive and safe in this perfect world, and you don't even know me.
Well, I sort of know you.
You know her. You don't even see her that way, do you? He looks at the wedding photo.
I take it where you're from, we were...
Married.
Ah.
This makes you uncomfortable.
No, not at all. Oh, hold on. It like skipped on me, the notes. What did it say right after that? Oh, no, not at all. I get confused.
I get confused. I love that. I just get confused. Just a couple of weeks ago, we were celebrating our first anniversary. Then we got the call that the Gould ships had been spotted entering our solar system. We just left everything. Who's humming the theme right now? Can we really have the theme song going on? You blew out the candles and I turned off the oven. We just left. They didn't hit Colorado Springs from orbit like most of the big cities, so the table must still be set.
Cold by now.
Yeah.
Listen, I should probably be...
Stay.
Sam.
Please.
Look, you're dealing with a loss right now that I can't even begin to. Wow, what is that?
Get that theme song going?
I'm trying.
Oh my God, it's just okay. My processing can't handle. Okay. Okay, look, you're dealing with a loss right now that I can't even begin to. What I mean is, maybe I'm not the right person to help you.
Yes, you are. You're the only one who can. Look, I know you well enough to know that you don't have a clue what to say. You don't even have to say anything.
Come here.
I miss him.
Good cue on this.
It really is pretty music though. Like
it really is, but
oh God.
She's so melodramatic.
The dinner's still cold.
It's still the table is still set.
Cold. Oh man.
Oh God.
Okay, let's dive into this.
So, okay, let's unpack this.
Yeah.
Alternate Sam is going through the loss of her Jack, who is also her husband. That's a
Mhm.
bummer. Only
Yep.
to come to a reality where their Jack is still alive, completely throwing off her grieving process. Like, she can't even grieve the loss of her Jack because there's like still one right in front of her. Weird.
Mhm.
For Jack, this is the second reality they have been exposed to where he was married to Sam. This is actually a time they're interacting with her and also having to still interact with Sam in their reality. It's confusing and awkward. And I
Mhm.
get so. This is why I said in the group chat, I was like, this episode stresses me out. And it's because of the secondhand embarrassment that I get. It's bad. And it gets so much worse. Just
It's
wait.
soap opera. Yeah.
It's
Like
I cringe,
melodramatic is putting it lightly.
but I love it.
Mhm.
I can't
The
say.
Sam Jack stuff does though. It gets so much better after
Yeah.
this. Like, yeah, it gets a lot better. That's all I have to say.
Mm.
This is kind of a good, like, they really are leaning into it at this point now. So, like, I know we've talked about it before. Into the Fires, when they were like, let's goof around and be like
Mhm.
silly, goofy, have
They're
a good
like,
time. But now they're like really making it a thing. This is the second reality where this has been a thing. Like, they're really leaning into it.
I literally remember the first time watching season 3 because we all know that I'm like started watching Stargate later than
Mhm.
everybody else.
Mhm.
I remember sitting there and watching it and going, hold on a minute.
Wait, which one? Into the Fire?
Yeah, like it started and but, like it kept like episode after episode. It was obviously this thing that did not exist before that. And then as all of a sudden you're like, I see what they're doing something here. Oh, they're doing something here.
Ooh.
So my little shipper heart was like enjoying it. So
Oh God. You
I
too.
concur. I concur.
this is the first time. This is the first time like my like OTP is actually everybody else's too. If that makes
Mhm.
sense. Like it's the
Yeah.
first time like, well, everybody wants this. So
Mhm.
Validation.
Mhm. Big time.
So Jack leaves. He runs into our Sam. She just told Kowalski that he can stay. So like she kind of like got there before Jack did. And this was really cute.
Mhm.
And Adam kind of pointed this out to me too. But go ahead and read that.
How are you doing with this twin thing?
do you have a couple hours?
Okay.
That was the answer.
Oh.
Good night, sir.
Like
Can we just say the fact that he was like willing to listen to her for a couple
For
hours?
a couple of hours.
Mhm.
Cute.
Mm.
Very cute. So, the alternate Sam is brushing her terrible wig. She pauses. She drops the hairbrush. Clutching the table, her face starts to distort. This is where we get the cryptic photo reveal, guys, because this is called entropic cascade failure. And when I hear the words entropic cascade,
Entropic.
Rebecca, please be on standby.
Standing by.
Wait,
I needed to just don't think.
wait, where did
Just
we
wait.
hear entropic
It
cascade?
didn't come up yet. I'm preemptively getting to the point.
What? Okay. I'm so confused.
Sarah.
I'm so confused.
She sent it to just me.
What? So like,
Hold on.
I'll explain. Just wait. I really hope it's a good payoff, guys. If not, we won't revisit this segment of the show.
Okay, so do we wait for the picture?
Here,
Should I reveal first? Because like,
No.
okay,
Well, can we?
No,
yeah.
don't. Here, we're gonna put that back up just for a second.
Uh-huh.
I got it. We're
Okay.
getting there. It's just making me save it as like an actual JPEG. So I don't, based on what I am now seeing, I don't think that I would have come up with this. Let's just put it that way. I just don't think that is a thing that would have happened in my brain. But I love your brain for it, Sarah, so much.
And tropic
rem-
failure. What tropic failure? Tropic.
Entropic cascade failure
Tropic
is what she
cascade.
is experiencing.
Okay.
Are y'all ready for this?
No.
I don't think you are either.
Because when I hear entropic cascade, it sounds like a fruity drink to me. It sounds like I'm gonna go to the bar and I want an entropic cascade, please. And it sounds like it's a flavor of Capri Sun. Hello, yes, honey. Can you go to the store and get some Capri Suns? Entropic
What
cascade.
flavor do you want? Entropic Cascade. Can we have this on a t-shirt too?
I hope you enjoy my terrible, not even Photoshop.
No, that's what I love about it.
Some
Seriously,
shitty app on my phone.
this at least needs to be in a sticker pack, if not on a t-shirt. The comments are coming in.
My
Got to be a pen. Okay.
Yes, please. I want to see if anyone.
Smells like it definitely has pineapple in it.
Pineapple with a hint of temporal distortion.
Oh, that just needs to stay up the rest of the episode right there.
Can you like shrink it down and put it in a
Oh.
corner?
I wish.
Oh, Charlie was thinking not what he was thinking. I was thinking of Ergo's beach scene in the mirror. Oh.
Some early 2000s commercial definitely had someone drinking Capri Sun and then blurring around the room like some...
Okay. I have to confess, my brain doesn't work in a way
Sorry.
that gets that. And I try.
I don't know if everyone will get it, but that's the way my brain works.
So, okay. So we continue this segment going forward on a condition.
Okay.
I also get to submit something,
Oh Lord.
and we both get to have reveals.
Okay.
And then,
Cryptic photo segment unlocked.
yes, because I think this will tell a lot about our personalities.
Side note, if anyone wants to tell us what they think Entropic Cascade tastes like,
I will
you can email us at shortpodcast@gmail.com.
It sounds like a fruity drink, like a pina colada in Tropic Cascade, or like again, Capri Sun, Ragin' Waters, Pacific Cooler in Tropic Cascade. Like it
I really
fits.
think it's blue, which
Gonna
would
be
make
a
which
blue color.
works for Sam anyway because Sam loves blue Jello. So
It works.
feels blue though. Entropic Cascade feels blue to me. I don't know why.
Cascade is like a waterfall.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Oh God.
that would be
My
a
head.
cryptic photo reveal. I guess it's gonna be a thing if we can think of one. I don't know if I can think of one for every episode, but
One of us might be able to for every episode.
Mm-hmm.
Cryptic
yeah.
photo. What does this photo have to do with this episode?
it's like Capri Sun. Figure it out.
Figure
Okay.
it out.
I have dibs on the next one. Okay.
I don't even know what the
Okay,
next
the more
episode is.
clear. Well, if we all want to do one, or if you know,
No,
Oh,
if you
we
just
can
have,
do
if you come
one.
up with one, then
Mhm.
then bring it.
excellent.
I like it.
So, with that,
Thank you for
being
that.
said- you're welcome.
Mm.
In the infirmary, Fraser is explaining to Sam and Kowalski that alternate Sam is going into some kind of convulsion shock. But alternate Sam explains that it's not medical, it's temporal, entropic cascade failure, a cellular level. Alternate Sam thought it would take years to happen, not days. This is a side effect of traveling through the quantum mirror.
Hmm.
Do you notice how they made a point to have Carter come and hold Samantha's hand to be like, look at our special effects.
You know what though? It
You
holds
can
up.
see the break, but you can see the break if you look.
Can you?
You can see it, but you got to be like really looking for it.
Yeah, I've seen split screens that look worse. So the
Mhm.
fact that like I could just watch it casually and not be like, ew, like
Yeah.
it holds up.
Yeah, you can see a little bit of like the aura of a green screen around, just the tiniest bit, but it's way better than a lot of them were
Mhm.
back at that same time. So
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, real quick, Sam says, "I'm guessing Dr. Carter has it because I'm here. The increase in entropy generated by both of us existing in the same reality might theoretically be causing temporal distortion. So basically, two Carters cannot exist in the same reality at once, and Kowalski is not affected because in this reality, Kowalski's dead.
Mhm.
There's no way to treat this, and it will kill her.
Mhm.
Bummer." So there's this like interesting dynamic. What we've got Samantha O'Neill Carter Kowalski.
I'll be Carter.
Mhm. I'll take O'Neill. Or wait, no, I'll take. I don't know, Sarah. Who do you want? What do you
I'll
want?
take O'Neill and get the Kowalski too.
Okay,
Go on, Samantha.
so I'm going to die here.
You're not gonna die.
Actually, sir.
Carter,
Well, the only way she won't is if we send her back.
if she goes back, the Gould will kill her. So like it's so weird because Jack is like trying to comfort one Carter while also being like STFU to the other Carter.
Mm-hmm.
Awkward.
Well,
It's just
I mean, the other
awkward.
Carter is just stating the facts. Like,
Yeah, and we all know
it's not going to
alternate
help the
Sam-
dance around the "oh, you're not going to die" part. Like, that
Yeah.
doesn't help anybody. So,
Yeah.
Correct.
No.
And alternate Sam knows this too. Like they're the same person.
mhm.
So cut to the briefing room for plot dump number 3.
Plot dump.
I'm taking Daniel.
I'll
I'll be Hammond and Carter
do O'Neill.
and
Teal.
Teal.
Yeah. All right.
Think about it. Billions of people enslaved. I just can't help but feel, in the grand scheme of things, we owe them. Besides, the only way to really help Dr. Carter is to stop the Gould in her reality and save whatever's left.
How do you suggest we do that, Dr. Jackson? The resources of their entire world couldn't defend against the Gould.
What about the resources of our world?
What do we have that they don't?
Our fate? We made contact with the Asgard.
So
So, if Dr. Carter can make contact with the Asgard in her reality, maybe their Asgard will be willing to help them.
Defend their world against the Gould?
Yes.
and just how do you propose we raise the Asgard in their reality?
Okay. We still have the dialing program that took you to the Asgard home planet, right?
Which we could download to a removable hard drive, but that still won't do it. Remember, in order to dial the Asgard homeworld, they had to provide us with a generator that transferred extra energy to the gate's capacitors. I can't get it to work again. Apparently, it was designed to work only once.
Assuming Major Carter can figure it out, once in her reality, it will be difficult to get Dr. Carter through the Stargate without the Gould detecting and stopping her. Real quick side note, that generator that they're talking about was not built by the Asgard. It was built by Jack with the Ancients' knowledge. They kind of like fumbled the ball on that one because they refer to it as like the Asgard generator. It's ancient. Kowalski enters the briefing room. He volunteers to help with the mission and make sure alternate Sam gets to the gate. And he exposes them. He dry snitches.
Dude.
He's like, what do you think I'm going to do? Let her go alone? She's my best friend's wife. Bro.
Dude.
Read a fucking room. Because
Because
at that point, up until that point, our Sam had no idea. Maybe a hint, but she did not know. And now it's like, this is increasingly awkward and painfully embarrassing. Read a room, man. Anyway, continuing. Teal'c says, you will also require my assistance. Kowalski is like, we can handle this.
No, Teal'c has a point. You said yourself that Teal'c led the assault on the mountain in your reality. Now, couldn't we use something like that to our advantage?
And then Jack says, quite the military mind, Daniel Jackson.
No, sir. I'm sorry. Teal can't go any more than I can. Entropic cascade failure. If I go, there will still be 2 of me in one reality, and the same will be true with Teal'c.
Dr. Carter did not become ill her first 48 hours. If our mission is not complete within that time, it is most likely that we will be dead. And Jack says, good point. So they have a plan.
Mm-hmm.
They're a man with a plan. They're going to try and get back to this alternate reality and get a hold of Thor. So Hammond agrees a little bit too easily. He's like, if you think you can pull it off, girl, be my guest. But he wants that quantum mirror destroyed when they get back. Spoiler alert, it does. Do they keep it? They don't destroy it, do they? Does it ever
I don't
resurface
know
again?
that we see it again.
I don't know.
Okay.
There are different ways that alternate realities happen, but
So the first hurdle is they have to get that generator working again. Jack says, okay, Carter, download the program to the removable, whatever it is, and meet me and yourself in the lab. There's a lot
do
of
that thing with the stuff. Good.
Mm-hmm. Do the stuff on the stuff thing. We're good.
So there are some like funny jokes that you can only get when in a like alternate reality situation. Like you were arguing with yourself. You're agreeing with yourself. Like, haha. Get you and yourself down to the lab. The thing about the Asgard thing I talked about. So the two Sams are talking it out in the lab, going back and forth. It's really quite comical. She is really just like talking with herself.
Mm-hmm.
Jack, he cuts them off. He's like, hey, are you Carter's going to be able to figure this out? And then in unison, they're like, yeah, we should
figure it out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
And then entropic cascade failure happens again.
Mm.
Extra entropic.
Extra entropic. With more cascades.
More cascades. I love it. Hold on real quick, because I love this. Charlie says, bitter, smoky, metallic, just like what space tastes like. And then Nell says, blast off into the cool, refreshing taste of the vacuum. Capri Sun and Tropic Cascade, taste the galaxy.
I love this.
Okay. So good.
So, Kowalski and Daniel are standing in front of the mirror, and Kowalski is explaining to Daniel how the remote works. This is important. So, this is Daniel and Kowalski. You guys want to take this away?
Sure. I'll be Kowalski.
Okay.
Okay, the way Dr. C explained it, the controller is kind of not what you'd call an exacting science. You can't just dial up an address like you would on a Stargate. You have to kind of figure out where you are.
Oh, man. Oh, sorry. My notes keep, like, jumping. Hold on. Okay. Sorry. Daniel says, okay. Does it move if someone else scrolls up the notes or like tag somewhere else in the notes? Does it move it for everybody? No. Okay.
Mm-mm.
All right. Well, Daniel responds to that lovely statement from Kowalski and says, well, it doesn't sound like a very expedient way to get home.
As long as you don't turn it off, it's always connected to the same reality.
So when you turn it on again, it won't be connected to the reality you came from.
Right. We have to find it again. Now, this thing switches to various realities. If I turn it on now, it should come up somewhere near the reality it was last on. And he like turns it on and there's a corridor. There. See? That's not it. No grenade damage. I tossed a grenade down the hall to slow them down so they wouldn't see us go through the mirror.
So we need to find a reality that's just right. You mind if he takes it and Daniel activates the remote, mirror reflects an Area 51 storage room.
There, you see, you probably turned it the wrong way. Now, since this device should be in a storage closet in my reality, dial it the other way.
Daniel switches the mirror to another image of an SGC corridor. This time there are two Jaffa present. They see the mirror and level their staff weapons.
Change it!
Daniel switches the remote and the mirror changes to another SGC corridor. This time it is empty.
Okay, closer. What you want to do is dial it in smaller increments.
So, for as advanced as this thing is, what a shitty function, man.
It's like an AM/FM radio dial. Like, yeah.
But every time you turn your radio off, you have to tune it in again. That's terrible. Even a radio can stay tuned in as long as you don't change the channel. Like, so Jack comes in to make sure they know how to operate the mirror, and then both Sams come in right behind it. The device is already fixed. That was extremely fast.
Mm-hmm.
2 Sam brains.
Correct. Our Sam is going to stay behind to monitor things on their end, and Teal'c is coming in wearing his Jaffa uniform. He states very plainly, "I am not fond of wearing this uniform again."
Mm-hmm.
Daniel found their reality on the remote device, and they're ready to go. So, on the other side, the SGC is in ruins. It's destroyed. It's like smoking. There's shit falling everywhere. It's a mess. Jack insists that Daniel turns the mirror off. He is reluctant to do so because of what he just learned, but he does it anyway. They begin to stealthily explore the SGC, or I guess SGA, whatever you want to call it. Jaffa Patrol heads into the gate room, where a larger group of Jaffa is assembled. They are led by an alternate Teal'c. They kneel as a bearded alternate Apophis comes through the gate. I read somewhere, I think it was on the IMDb trivia, that like it's like evil Spock.
Mm. It's a nod to the mirror universe
Yeah.
in Star Trek. Yeah.
Yeah. So as the Jaffa exit the gate, Jack distracts alternate Teal'c. Alternate Teal'c falls for the bait. He follows them to the storage room, where he's confronted with our Teal'c. You guys read this, because
Okay.
this took me for a loop.
Cool.
All right.
I'll be Teal'c.
Okay. I'll be alt Teal'c.
Renounce Apophis as a false god and join us in our deliverance of this world, and I will spare you.
Shulva.
The AU Teal'c prepares, to fire a staff weapon. Teal'c fires first, kills Aushel itself. O'Neill and Daniel head over to Teal'c and see the body of AU Teal'c. And Jack says, the idea was to zat him.
As I said, O'Neill, ours is the only reality of consequence.
I was like, damn, Teal'c, that's cold. That's cold.
I'm willing to bet Teal'c's like any version of me that hasn't left this loser yet. I don't care about, you know?
That's
like,
a good point.
Yeah.
But it's kind of also like, I'm playing fast and loose in this reality because the only thing that I care about is my reality. So if I have to kill me, literally, okay.
Kill me.
Yeah. So our Teal'c is now posing as alternate Teal'c and has pretended to capture alternate Sam. He's also sporting like a nice stick-on goatee. It was a nice addition.
Nice touch.
So this was funny. I forgot this was in this episode. It's O'Neill and Daniel. So Jack says, all right, I gotta know.
Yes, I'm about to activate it.
No, not the mirror. What the hell does Kree mean?
Well, actually, it means a lot of things. Loosely translated, it means attention. Listen up. Concentrate.
You who?
Yes, in a manner of speaking.
I don't know why they decided to put that in there, but I like it. It was really funny. Like, it definitely wasn't interesting because they never explained it to us what it means. But it's like, hey, you over there, attention. So Daniel turns the mirror back on and confirms his fear. They lost their reality and he has to find it again. Jack and Kowalski leave him to install the... I was like, they're leaving him behind, like unguarded.
Yeah. Could they not have sent like one other person? Just
a red shirt that they could have killed?
Right there?
Yeah. But they left him unguarded to like figure out this mirror while they go to plug in a generator.
Which clearly takes all that concentration. So it would be really helpful to have somebody like keeping an eye out. But
yeah. So cut to Apophis. He's interrogating alternate Hammy for the address to the beta site.
Oh, Hammy.
Little Hammy. Teal'c enters with alternate Sam. Apophis leaves Teal'c. He's like, get it out of him. I don't care who you get out of. Figure it out. And then Teal'c like dismisses the rest of the Jaffa, so like he's alone with them. Will Hammond's like, you might as well kill me. And Teal'c was like, I would never do such a thing, General Hammond. It was so cute. And then like alternate Sam had to explain, like, I promise this is not a hallucination. Like we came back from the alternate reality. He was surprised that it actually worked. So cut back to the mirror. This was interesting. This was like super interesting. Daniel's trying to find their reality again. He's kind of like basically scrolling through all of these other versions. And many of the alternate realities seem to be overrun by the gold. Like a lot of them. Cut to Jack and Kowalski. This was awkward and funny and sad also. You guys want to read that?
Sure.
Who do you want?
I'll be Kowalski.
Okay.
Carter's a pretty smart figuring that thing out, huh? So you and Sam, you never had a thing in your world, huh?
Sam is a major in my world.
Yeah, I know. It's against regulations, right? You two look pretty good together, let me tell you.
Kowalski, during your special ops training in your world, did they cover silence?
Translation: shut the fuck up, dude. Please shut up.
Mm-hmm.
This is already awkward enough for
Stop
me.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So they get the generator online. Sam escapes through the gate to contact the Asgard. Teal'c basically gives Apophis the middle finger and is like, F you, bro. Like, I'm doing this anymore. Jack and Kowalski make it back to Daniel, but he has been captured by the Jaffa because, of course, he was. They left him.
Mm-hmm.
Hammond, Jack, Daniel, and Teal'c are all lined up in the control room where we see a mothership landing on top of Cheyenne Mountain. Apophis looks at Jack. He's like, how are you here? Because my first prime killed you before my very eyes. Jack's like, I'm feeling much better, thank you. I'm feeling a lot better now. And he looks at Teal'c and he's like, well, then who are you? What magic is this? So I included this because it was interesting when he said my first prime killed. Teal'c killed him.
Mm-hmm.
Teal'c killed Jack in this reality, which is adds an extra layer of like fucked upness to everything. They try to explain it, but Apophis is not buying what they're selling, and he shoots Hammond with his ad. Jack, of course, like in the worst situation, making a joke. He's like, all right, I'm guessing the second shot kills in this world too, huh? So they do end up shooting Hammond again, killing him with the Zach gun. Which it's like, that's the thing about alternate realities is like, you can get this, like you can see people die and it's like, well, it's not like real, but it's still like, whoa, they're dead. They begin to dial the gate. Oh wait, just kidding. Apophis is about to kill all of them when another Jaffa comes in and he's pointing out something on the radar. So Jim Jaffa, number 2. They're speaking Jaffa. We don't know what they're saying, but they look like they're panicked. They begin to dial the gate. Apophis is about to deal a death blow to all of them when suddenly a light surrounds him and he disappears along with 2 Jaffa. With him, Hammond's body also disappears in a flash. Cut to poor Fred, who I just made up the name now. The man who lives in a universe all by himself, but the Asgard keep dumping shit on his front yard.
He's yelling.
Old man yells at cloud meme. Every time it happens, I'm like, man, fucking Fred. Just trying to keep his lawn clean. So the remaining Jaffa retreat through the gate. They're running away like scared little bitches, which is funny. Teal'c is like enjoying this. He's like, yeah, that's right. You better fucking run. He is. He's like they're kind of all like, hell yeah, this is finally get out of here. We see the mothership leaves from the mountain. Alternate Sam appears. She has succeeded in meeting the Asgard. Hammond appears behind her, alive and unharmed. So that was cool. They brought him back. Love that. She does give him a little kiss on the cheek.
No.
O'Neill watches the monitor showing none other than Thor's wagon appearing over the mountain. Love that. Even he was like, you gotta love this guys, man. Like he truly is. He loves the Asgard.
He's a fan.
Yeah, he's a fangirl.
He is.
So, cut to the quantum mirror storage room. Daniel has found their reality again. We see our Sam on the other side waiting. Kowalski says his goodbyes. How it was an honor to serve with Jack again. All right, let me cue the music.
You got that music ready to go?
You guys go ahead.
This is hard. Goodbye for a second time.
It's the first time.
It doesn't feel that way to me. You have to understand. My Jack had the same face, same voice, same hands.
Which brings to mind an obvious question. How could you marry such a loser?
So Jack drops the hint to Daniel and Teal'c to get out of here, scram. They go back through the mirror. Cue Sam Jack theme song, which I'm already playing. Samantha and O'Neill stare at each other for a long moment before Samantha reaches up and kisses O'Neill. Carter, watching from the other side of the mirror, appears uncomfortable and looks away. Samantha finally pulls away from O'Neill.
You're really not him, are you?
No.
I just wish.
Yep.
Solid
steps-
dialogue right there, by the way.
He steps away from her and touches the mirror, appearing briefly on the other side before it goes dark. Samantha is left standing alone by the storage room with tears running down her face. Good ending? ? Music plays off in the distance. So,
You know what the Sam and Jack theme song sounds like to me now?
tell
What?
me.
Like a Final Fantasy theme. I don't know
Oh,
if
yeah.
anybody's played Final Fantasy, but
Yeah,
that's what it sounds like.
Hmm.
Yeah, I get that.
I
Yeah.
just didn't think about it until just now.
Oh,
As I'm
God.
like trying to do Samantha emoting during this.
So good. So,
Interesting.
I say good ending ? Because it definitely cut short and it was jarring, but I kind of get it because like here I wrote a little paragraph. The ending definitely cuts short and feels jarring, but it leaves you feeling the rawness. I feel the emptiness that Sam feels being left alone in the storage room with the loss and grief of her reality. It's devastating.
Mm.
So it's like, damn, like she thought that she could move on in another world where she wouldn't have to deal with this. And now it's like, cool, they took their world back, but now I have to deal with this, not only emotionally, but like also be here and deal with it
Yeah.
instead of running away from it.
I don't know how else you would have ended that episode, because like really the only other thing to tie up would be the awkwardness between like
I don't
Carter
wanna
and
see it.
Jack now, and nobody's gonna want to see that right now. They're
No.
Leave it to the fan
They're
fiction.
gonna start building that shit up first, and then
Yep.
we'll be able to address it again. You know, like
Leave it to the fan fiction, which I think I did read one where it did address it, and it was actually like pretty good. I'll see if I can find it to you if you're
Yeah,
into
send
that
it.
kind of stuff. But yeah, like that's where ambiguity is good, because it's
Mhm.
like I don't need any more awkwardness, so I'll leave that to the imagination.
Mhm.
I'm cool with that.
Mhm.
The fact that after they were done smooching, she
Mm.
was like, "You're really not him, are you?" And I never really caught this before, probably because I was like, "What the fuck? They're
Mhm.
kissing? Whoa!" And I never like paid attention enough toward the end to like catch that. But that's
Yeah.
really fucking sad, man. Like
Mhm.
really sad.
But
Um,
honestly, though, I appreciate that closure for her because she was able to experience and be like, no,
mhm.
it wasn't.
It's not my Jack.
Not my Jack. I can't be sitting here that my Jack is out there somewhere else. Like, that is not my Jack. I think that is so well done that they put that in there because it does leave her in a space where she can properly grieve and move on.
It does close it out really nicely, and it leaves no question of like, okay,
No.
there will never be anything between this Sam and Jack ever. Like, it's done. Like,
Yeah.
she has her version of closure, and
Mm-hmm.
she's like, that's not it. It's not
Mhm.
him. And I think that's what this episode is really about, is like kind of getting closure, grieving, facing your grief. Again, like
Mm-hmm.
they kind of wanted this asylum in this other reality where they wouldn't have to deal with that, but ultimately she had to go back and deal with that and go back to her reality and confront everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, themes, discussion. I said, why is the alternate reality trope something we see in media time and time again? Does this resonate with you, and why?
I mean,
it got me.
I made a whole feature film about it, so
Mm-hmm.
there's that.
Yes.
I love alternate reality, that trope, but I wish more media would use it in a more interesting way. And that, honestly, not to brag, but that makes me really excited about my movie because it uses that concept to deal with the idea of identity. And it's something that doesn't get leaned into that much. It's usually very plot heavy when you're talking about alternate realities, instead of like you could really dig into somebody, like a person, like who they are that way, you know? So
Yep.
Yeah, so I like the trope. I like to use the trope in general, but I think it could be used more interestingly.
Agreed.
Yeah, because I think like what we see it, obviously the scientific standpoint of like fork in the road, everything that like you have that explanation of it, but then a lot of it is more of like an internal. I'm literally confronting myself. So like I feel like it has a lot to do with that, like confronting yourself, confronting your inner demons, confronting your choices that you made. Like alternate Sam had to confront in this that their reality made choices that did not work out for them. And to my next point, it was like we realize how lucky our reality is. And then many of the realities that we see that Daniel is like sorting through are overrun with Gould. And it kind of adds more to the stakes for us to see how easily Earth could be defeated. It's not like every version of Earth and like there's only one that got defeated by the Gould. They're the minority. Yeah, they're the minority situation, which is really fascinating.
Yeah.
And then the last thing, open-ended question: how do you think this will affect Sam and Jack's relationship? If you didn't know anything that happened, like what do you think? Because my girl was standing right there. Like you couldn't have turned around, couldn't have like moved out of the way. Like so awkward.
I think my ideas, I think that if I were faced with that situation, I think it would actually help calm some unknown anxieties because I think it would allow me to face feelings sooner than later and compartmentalize them and put them away. I think the like, okay, we've both now seen that this happens, which means we both have probably acknowledged we probably feel a certain way, but for the better good, we can't address it based on whatever. Because I don't know. I think that if I didn't know, I think it would impact. No, I don't know what I want to say about it. I don't know. Go ahead.
I think I know where you're going with this. At least this is what I was thinking. It's like they see now two realities where they work together and their realities ended up being fucked up. By no fault of that. Like that definitely wasn't the defining reason why their realities were destroyed. But I think it helps them, like you said, compartmentalize it in a way of like, we cannot do this because like look at what could happen if we don't continue doing what we're doing in our roles that we're in now. Look at what we've accomplished. And if we give into that and explore that and like one of us to go do something else, what could happen? Like we could end up like one of those other realities because we're not in those roles as Colonel and Major. So I think that might help them like push it away further and be like, for the greater good, we cannot do this. Like I'm scared to because of I've seen what happens.
They push it deep down where only a Xanax detector can find it.
Cryptic photo. Xanax.
It allows you to like address it, see it, confront it, pack it away. Pack it away. Yeah, that's a good one.
So Rebecca, you said in the group chat that you noticed things or
I mean, yeah, I think I talked about some of them. I don't know that I really noticed anything else. I've seen this episode so many times. And I think it's a twofold thing because it is like the very beginning of Sam and Jack, but it's also I do like alternate reality stories and I like time travel stories, especially it's interesting. Like all of the sci-fi tropes that I really like in Stargate SG-1 are used as like Sam and Jack episodes because I fucking love a Groundhog Day episode.
Hell yeah.
And I like alternate realities. And both of those are like moments in the Sam and Jack history, like both of those tropes,
Mm.
which is really funny because it's like, do I actually really like this relationship that much, or are they just using my favorite things to make me like this relationship this much? I don't know.
Interesting.
Something to think about. No, I kind of have I have a thing for that, like that sort of dynamic relationship anyway. Like if anybody else out there watches Full Metal Alchemist, I'm a big Roy and Riza fan. So it's like I put up on Twitter one time, I was like, this is my this is my relationship energy right here. Because they're essentially the same couple, like the same characters. So yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. But I agree. It's a good addition to the
definitely-
Sam Jack.
Yeah. I had definitely never noticed the choice of the pronunciation for Samantha to make a
That's
distinction.
so
I did not either.
interesting.
Because like when we read dialogue, I always say go old for Sam and I say Gould for everybody else when we're reading like the script.
Mhm.
So that's why I was like so
Whoa.
aware of it when I watched the episode again. Like, oh, Samantha just said Gould. Weird.
Very weird.
And then also just a quick hats off to Amanda Tapping for playing literally the same character but different.
They have very, very, very different energies. Like very.
Yeah.
Like similarly, she's very good at that. Like in Sanctuary, plays like her like 159-year-old self, and then she plays her like maybe 20-year-old self in Victorian England, and it's the same thing. Like it's the same like energy difference. One of them's kind of like more emotional and like more naive, I guess, about things. So
We also see that in Mobius, where there's that alternate timeline Sam, where she's like super nerdy.
I love that Sam. I love that
So
Sam
good.
much.
So good.
Her and Daniel in that episode are like my favorites.
Yep.
I love them.
That's another fucking wig, man. That was a wig on Daniel in that episode.
Oh, it was
the,
so
the
bad.
greased up wig too. It was just like, why did you make his hair look like that?
Oh, so bad.
And then they
Oh my
killed him.
goodness.
Spoilers.
All right. Oh my gosh.
All right.
Okay. We take a big switch next week for our next one. It's what is it? Dead Man Switch.
Mm-hmm.
Make a switch with Dead Man Switch.
Make a switch with. Oh, I didn't even catch I said that. Yes, we do make a switch. I don't know. It's just like a big. We go from this like Sam Jack to like weird conniving manipulative.
Oh,
He was the Star Trek guy, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
He was. No, he was. What's his face? Hold on, I got you. Give me a second. Everybody in the comments, just give me a second. Sam Jones, Eris Bach, known for. I mess it up every time, so I'm Flash Gordon.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
enjoy this episode too. Yeah, it's a good one.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Okay, who's closing us out this time?
Can I? Because I actually have an idea.
Yes.
Sure.
All right, guys. Be sure to drink your Entropic Cascade and close the iris.